Dimensions of Self-Awareness. Who is experiencing you and your life? By Ayan Farvahar. There is only one puzzle you need to solve in your life. Others are distractions. This puzzle is you. It is finding who you are, what your life is about, and who is the one experiencing you and your life. Hi, this is Ayan Farvahar. I'm glad you're here. This channel is about self-realization and honoring our life purpose and meaning. If you're interested in these topics, please subscribe to stay connected. Your support is the foundation of this channel and encourages me to create more content in the future. If you like the content I share and want more people to find it, please hit the like button. For more information about myself and my life mentoring practice, please find my bio link in the description below. Also, for more information about the artist behind the expressive images I use here, please find the description below. Today, we want to focus on self-awareness. Self-awareness is a state of knowing that reflects your understanding of yourself. This state of knowing is fluid and continues to expand as long as you continue to stay curious about yourself and engage in meaningful contemplations. Reading or listening to ideas like the ones I share here is useful, but what ultimately changes your understanding of yourself in a meaningful way is your commitment to self-curiosity, introspection, and inner work. The level of your self-awareness stops expanding the moment you stop being curious about yourself, give up, and accept yourself and your life as they are. Remember that the most important relationship in your life is the relationship that you cultivate with your own self. That said, how you relate to yourself is far more important than your social and spiritual relationships. In simple terms, self-awareness is about finding who you are, what your life is about, and who is experiencing you and your life. So self-awareness has different dimensions. The goal of this presentation is to explain these dimensions and how they complement each other. More specifically, we cover the following topics. 3 dimensions of self-awareness: psychological, teleological, and spiritual self-awareness. Psychological self-awareness: understanding the inner workings of your mind. Teleological self-awareness: finding your life purpose and destiny. And spiritual self-awareness: knowing who is experiencing this life through you. Let's go over these. 3 dimensions of self-awareness: psychological, teleological, and spiritual self-awareness. Self-awareness is not something we are born with, and we need to cultivate it in the course of our life. Self-awareness has different levels, and as defined here, happens in 3 complementary dimensions. Psychological self-awareness is your awareness of the inner workings of your mind. Teleological self-awareness is your awareness of your higher purpose, destiny, and what your life is really about. And spiritual self-awareness is your awareness of your spiritual dimension, your soul, or a spiritual essence of you who is experiencing life through you and why. These dimensions are equally important. For example, if you don't understand who you are, how would you know what your life purpose is? Similarly, if you don't have a sense of purpose in life, then what is the ultimate point of your life? Why did you come to this world? and who brought you here. The most important step in expanding your self-awareness is to become what I call here your own inner observer. To become curious about yourself, you need to look at yourself from outside of yourself. Becoming your own inner observer allows you to awaken your higher mind, and through that, become curious about various aspects of you and your personality as you experience them. For example, if you want to know the underlying reasons behind your innermost emotions, thoughts, or beliefs, you need to observe yourself having those emotions, thoughts, or beliefs. Because that's the only way you can contemplate on why you have them. Becoming an inner observer of yourself allows you to channel your higher self and heart's wisdom and tap into your native intelligence and intuitive insights already present deep within you. Self-awareness empowers you to value and trust yourself and bring a sense of clarity to your life. When you become self-aware, you not only know how you feel or believe, but also why you feel or believe that. You not only know what purpose you serve in this life, but also why you are called to honor that purpose. Psychological self-awareness, understanding the inner workings of your mind. As the name implies, psychological self-awareness is about understanding yourself and the inner workings of your mind. Stating it differently, psychological self-awareness is about your ability to notice and understand the impulses behind your strongest emotions, thoughts, and beliefs. Your emotions, thoughts, and beliefs ultimately dictate how you experience yourself and direct the course of your life. When they're negative or self-limiting, you suffer holding on to them, and your life cannot evolve to what you always imagined it to be. If you want to become the master of your mind, you must transform your negative emotions and self-limiting aspects of your personality. And to do that, you need to become aware of how they came about. Our negative emotions and self-limiting beliefs are predominantly formed during our childhood and adolescence years. Starting from childhood, most of our full attention had to be focused on what was transpiring around us, because our livelihood depended on that. The more our mind had to care about our environment and adults around us, the less space we had to care about what was happening inside us. The more unpredictable the environment and the more emotionally unsettled the people around us were, the less chance we had to connect to our own self, because we had to read the emotional state of our parents or guardians and find ways to navigate them and survive. For example, if I grew up in an emotionally unsafe environment, I become someone who is externally focused and can be affected emotionally by the energy of people around me. Because most of my attention was externally focused growing up, I don't have a meaningful sense of connection to my own self, and I'm not psychologically self-aware. To correct that, I need to withdraw my attention from the outside world and instead focus on myself. I can do journaling, mindful meditations, shamanic journeys, and if needed, some inner work to restore my connection to myself and feel emotionally centered. Psychological self-awareness is the foundation of your self-awareness, because as long as you have negative emotions or self-limiting beliefs, you may not feel empowered to create the life you want to live. Noticing your feelings or thoughts as you experience them needs practice and can only be mastered through inner work and contemplations. Without these, it would be hard for you to be fully self-aware because you remain subject to your strongest feelings or thoughts and jump from one to another depending on what you experience. For example, if I feel anxious without knowing why, I can become my own inner observer and focus on the part of me that is anxious. Only through this inner connection, I can find out why this part of me is anxious and transform that. To raise your psychological self-awareness, you need to become your own inner observer. This allows you to notice your feelings and thoughts as parts of your personality, become curious about them, and understand why they're there. Techniques like meditation, shamanic journeying, or journaling in a form of an inner dialogue can facilitate this connection. To learn more about this, consider listening to my post on psychological inner work, also linked in the description below. Teleological self-awareness, finding your life purpose and destiny. Teleological self-awareness is about knowing what your life is really about. Teleology implies that everything that exists has a purpose. Teleologically, every living being has a purpose, a destiny to fulfill. Teleological destiny of an acorn is to become an oak tree. So every acorn has the potential to become an oak tree. But this only happens when acorn realizes its destiny and finds a way to enter the fertile soil of the earth. You also have a teleological destiny, a life's mission or a purpose that brought you to this life. If you don't know what your teleological destiny is, your life can feel meaningless and devoid of a sense of direction. If you don't become curious about the purpose of your existence, the direction of your life will be dictated by fate and what the world imposes upon you. So if you want your life to have a purpose and a sense of direction, you must do some soul searching to find what your heart path is. Your life finds its true meaning only when you find your higher calling and make efforts and sacrifices to honor that. You need to become curious about what your heart path is. What action or goal gives your life a sense of meaning, making you feel soulful and alive? That is your purpose. More specifically, you need to find the answers to the following 3 questions. What do you want in life? Why do you want that? And does what you want represent who you truly are? The first question is about what you want in life. If you're not sure what that is, you need to contemplate on what your life is about. What mission in life would be worth all your sacrifices? Who is the most ideal version of you in the future? If you're interested to contemplate on how to find your purpose, consider listening to one of my earlier posts on life purpose, also linked in the description below. Now, assuming you already know what you want, the next question is why you want that. To answer this question, you need to ask yourself how you would feel if you get what you really want. Would you feel equally ecstatic and fulfilled getting what you want, even years after? If not, maybe what you want is not really what your true destiny or purpose is meant to be. Let me give an example to clarify this. Imagine I were someone who grew up and suffered through poverty. To bring an end to my suffering, I may define my purpose in acquiring success and wealth. But is becoming wealthy my life's real purpose? Or something I convince myself to be in reaction to my sufferings? What if I'm someone who is destined to be a school teacher, but end up becoming wealthy yet unfulfilled? Sometimes the things we want lose their value as soon as we get them, leaving us wanting more or something else all over again. So it is important for you to imagine not only getting what you want, but also checking how you would feel years after getting it. Aside from knowing what you want and why you want it, you also need to focus on one more question, which is about the harmony between what you want and your personality. For example, if I consider myself an introvert and value my peace and privacy, I should probably not want something that puts me on a spotlight or makes me the center of attention of others. It is surprisingly common to see people wanting or pursuing something that is in conflict with their personality. That is why many people switch careers. For example, a doctor becoming a teacher later in midlife, a corporate person quitting job to become an organic farmer, or even once married couples get separated to pursue their own individual callings. To summarize, you become teleologically self-aware when you know what you want and why you want that, and what you want deeply resonates with your authentic nature and who you truly are as an individual. Spiritual self-awareness. Knowing who is experiencing this life through you. Spiritual self-awareness implies a significantly higher order of self-awareness. It is not about psychological transformation of your personality or about teleological purpose of your life. It is about becoming aware of who is experiencing your personality and your life. Spiritual self-awareness is about becoming aware of the spiritual essence of your being, your soul, and how that relates to greater spiritual reality and the divine. Stating it differently, spiritual self-awareness is not about who you are as a person or what you want in life. It's about your awareness of what your life means as a whole, and through that, your awareness of who is actually experiencing this life through you. Let's contemplate on this. Life seems like a personal journey in the axis of time, a journey with a beginning and an end. If life is a journey, then who is the traveler experiencing it? If we are here to experience this journey, then we must have come from somewhere we need to return to when our journey comes to its end. There is a living essence within each one of us, an essence that is beyond the person we perceive to be in this life. We can view this essence as our soul, our true nature, and who we deeply are beyond our personality or purpose in this life. If you consider yourself spiritual, you may relate to this spiritual essence as your soul. Even if you're not as spiritual, there is enough phenomenological evidence, both psychological and transpersonal, that point to the existence of consciousness beyond the boundaries of body and mind. We can view this consciousness as our true essence, or as our purest sense of self, away from everything about this life that could otherwise define us. Your self-awareness becomes complete when you experience yourself not by identifying with your body or your personality, but rather as your true essence, your soul, or your purest sense of self. You can experience your true essence when you are in nature, when you are centered, when you meditate, or during deeper inner work using IFS or shamanic practices. Connection to your soul or your purest sense of self helps you realize that you're neither your body nor your personality. You are an eternal being that came to this world to experience life, express your authentic nature, and affect the world in your own unique ways. If this resonates with you and you wish to experience a deeper connection to your soul, check out my post related to Awakening of the Soul, also linked in the description below. Spiritual self-awareness makes you feel whole and alive, and gives your life and its purpose a higher and more sacred meaning beyond this world. In closing, I invite you to stay curious about yourself and who you really are. Don't shy away from asking deeper philosophical questions about life and the true nature of your being. Ask yourself what defines you as a person. What purpose in your life gives it a genuine sense of meaning? These questions are philosophical, but asking them is essential to elevate your self-awareness. They awaken your curiosity and deepen your awareness of yourself and your life's mission. If you have found this presentation inspiring, please like and share it with your like-minded friends. Please subscribe to my channel and share your thoughts and comments. For more information about myself and my life mentoring practice, please find my bio link in the description below. Blessings.